Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga. Today I have an approximately 40-minute Yin Yoga practice that focuses on gratitude, specifically body love, and the body part that we are showing some love to today is our spine, along with our hips. So grab your props. I suggest a strap. It's optional, but always good to have. Couple of blocks. I'm sitting on one. You may enjoy having a blanket. Go ahead and pause the video while you gather up those props. All right, welcome back. To begin with, go ahead and lay down on your back. Your legs can be stretched straight out towards the bottom of your mat, or you can have your feet on the mat with your knees bent pointing up towards the ceiling or the sky. I invite you to close your eyes or gaze down. Let your eyes become slowly unfocused a bit. And just begin to take your attention to your breath. Allowing yourself to fully arrive into today's practice. Noticing where you're at today, right now, in this moment. We're also focusing on our gallbladder and liver meridians in this practice to help to release anger. We can't have gratitude for anything if we're angry. And take a few more breaths here. Now I'd like you to visualize a rectangle or a square in front of your face. We're going to do what's known as square or box breath. And it's a very simple breath, very calming, where we inhale for 3 or 4 counts, hold for the same amount of counts, exhale for 3 or 4 counts, and then hold for the same amount of counts. Now, what the box you're visualizing does, I will instruct you to inhale at the left bottom corner and visualize your breath going up to the top right corner. Hold. Visualize your breath going over to the top right corner. Exhale down to the bottom right corner. Hold and visualize your breath going over to your bottom left corner. Now, if you get lost and none of that makes any sense, just let it go. If it's making you more frustrated than calm, let it go and just breathe in and out and hold what I tell you to. But if you find that to be a helpful visual, I am just offering it to you as another layer to help calm down your nervous system. Let's begin. So inhale, the bottom of the left corner, moving up towards the top, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, top right corner, exhale, 2, 3, 4, bottom right corner, hold, 2, 3, 4, bottom left corner, inhale, 2, 3, 4, top left corner, hold, 2, 3, 4, top right corner, exhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. You should be back at your bottom left corner. I'm going to stop doing that and just give you one more round counting and then let you breathe on your own. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. One last round on your own. And just let that go and begin to breathe normally, keeping your eyes closed if they are. And as you're laying there, I'm going to read another poem by Anna Ashworth called Loving Yourself. Loving yourself is a big ask. To some, it may as well be a mountain covered in treacherous ice. A journey too far, a journey so overwhelming that finding the start point can often seem impossible. Begin by showing yourself some slack every now and again. Move into a healthy, mutual respect, and then perhaps gravitate to treating yourself as you would a good friend. Laugh at your own jokes. See the life well lived in each tummy roll. And be forgiving when you've made mistakes or behaved as every human does, imperfectly. It's the least you would give to another, so it shouldn't be too far a stretch. Loving yourself is a big ask, so simply start with kindness, ahimsa, and the rest will come. I want you to think about whether loving yourself really is a big ask for you or not. And how maybe you need to change that up so it's not such a big ask. So it's something that you can achieve. And it happens step by little step. If you stretched out your legs, take the soles of your feet to your mat, knees are pointing up toward the ceiling or the sky. Next inhale, go ahead and bend your right knee out towards the right side, taking that right lower leg over your left thigh. And just take a minute or two here. What would your life look like if you just gave yourself some kindness, some ahimsa? Acknowledge that you're human, you're not perfect. And go ahead, if you'd like, reach through your legs, one arm on the outside, one arm through the center of your left thigh. Do as I say, not as I do. And perhaps draw your knees a little closer towards your torso. And this is, if this is not in your practice, this is where you can grab a strap and you can always put it around your thigh and use the strap to bring your legs a little closer. And of course, you can just keep your foot on the mat as well. And if even this seems like too much, you can take one of your blocks, put it on your mat, and take a foot to a block. Take that left foot to a block. It's another variation. And the last minute here. On your next exhale, go ahead and let that left foot come back to the mat. Unwind that top foot, bring both feet back to the mat, and just pause for a few seconds here. Notice any differences side to side. Notice any differences in your energy. And on your next inhale, go ahead and take the left leg and cross it over the right. Take a few breaths with your right foot on the mat, settling into the pose. And if you'd like, go ahead and reach around that right leg and pull your legs a little closer towards your torso. And even though we're working on our hips here primarily and our glutes a little bit, I want you to think about your spine. Just check in with your spine. How is it feeling today? Does it need any adjustments in the way you are laying on the mat? Does it feel safe in this pose? Does it feel stable? And go ahead and release that right thigh, bring both feet back to the mat, and just pause once again. Notice if you feel any tingling anywhere in your body. If you've moved some energy around, maybe unblocked some stagnant energy, got it flowing again. Go ahead and stretch your arms down near your hips. Inhale, lift the hips up and over to the right side of your mat. Keeping your legs where they are, begin to turn your upper torso towards the left side of the mat. And then begin to stretch your legs down towards the left side of the mat. Now, most people love this pose. This is called Banana Asana because you're making the shape of a banana. And it is a great pose. It opens up the side body, the part of our body that tends to get really stuck. And if you'd like to deepen it a little bit, you can take your right foot and bring it over your left. And inhale, raise your arms over your head. You can stretch them out behind you if you like. I like to kind of hold on to my wrists and bend my elbows out to either side. And do your best to get your glutes and your shoulder blades as evenly on the mat as you can, but don't worry about it. Don't force it. Just go to your comfort level. You can always grab a blanket or a block if something is really sticking up there so that you can relax into something and let go of any muscular tension. Our affirmation for today is I am flexible. Last couple of breaths here. Go ahead and take your top left leg off of the bottom. Begin to straighten your torso towards the center of the mat and let your arms come straight down by your sides. And just relax for a few breaths here. And your next inhale, take the soles of your feet to the mat. Lift your hips up and over to the left side of the mat. Stretch your legs out to the right side of the mat. And begin to take your upper torso towards the right side of the mat. Once again, doing the best you can to get your back body onto the mat without twisting it too much. And then if you'd like, take your left foot over the right and perhaps inhale your arms up and over your head. And I want you to think as you're laying in this pose about what would you tell a friend who came to you and started to really complain about her body. Oh my God, I'm so fat. Oh, nothing fits. I feel like a whale. What would you say to her? Think about that for a while. And now that you've thought about what you would say to a friend, in the last couple of minutes of this pose, I want you to say those things to yourself. Things like, you are a great mom, you're a great friend, you're a great wife, you're such a loving person, you have such a beautiful smile, you light up every room you walk into. I appreciate you, I appreciate having you as my friend. Saying this to yourself and see how that feels. Try it on. And on your next inhale, go ahead and take your top foot off your bottom foot. Begin to bring your torso back to the center of the mat. Soles of the feet to the mat, and then bring one knee into the chest and the other. And you can make little circles with your knees, just going to one side and then the other. Noticing how good that feels on your low back, I hope, anyway. And then even just taking them out to the sides and then back into the center. Making circles with your hips in a different way. And then out to the sides and down and into the center. And bring your feet back to the mat and just let them fall over to one side. Take your hands to the mat and begin to walk yourself upright. Grab your blocks potentially, and definitely grab a blanket if you have it to sit up on the edge, just to raise those hips up a little bit. You can also sit up on that block that you've grabbed. Take the soles of your feet together and just begin by sitting up straight. And if this feels very uncomfortable for your knees, you can always grab those blocks or a rolled up towel and put it underneath your thighs. I am flexible. And begin to let your head be heavy. And then let your spine round. Let your shoulders really relax. And don't go too deeply yet. You're just finding your first edge right now. We'll be in this pose for a little while. And as Donna wrote in her poem, finding love for our bodies with all of their great things and flaws, it begins with kindness. You can never make peace with your body unless you show it loving kindness, ahimsa. And maybe find your second edge now and begin to go a little deeper, letting your head fall even further down. Last minute here.
And release your feet. And slowly take your hand to the mat. Begin to push into your palms. Slowly walking those hands back towards your body as you begin to raise your torso. And go ahead and take your hands underneath your thighs, bringing your knees upright. Take your feet as wide as the mat, and then go ahead and let them fall over to one side, and then over to the other. Should feel very nice. Go ahead and set your blanket towards the top of your mat. You may or may not want it after the next pose, so have it handy. I'm going to suggest you grab a block for our next pose. Go ahead and begin to come up. Take your feet out a little wider than shoulder width and begin to come on down into a squat. And cork blocks are very good in this situation. Now, you don't have to sit on a block at all, of course, but I'm going to challenge you today to stay in the squat for 5 minutes. So think about that. Now, think about being kind to yourself, treating yourself as you would a friend. And is it kind for you to stay in this squat without any props for 5 minutes? It's a, as Donna said in the beginning of her poem, it's a big ask. Never be afraid to use a prop. And if a teacher ever shames you for using a prop, they are not a good yoga teacher. See if you can lengthen your spine up towards the sky. And perhaps take those elbows into your thighs. At the same time, trying to let those thigh muscles soften. It's not easy. But remember, we're not trying to build muscles in Yin Yoga. It is not the purpose. We're trying to get into our connective tissue. And we get into that connective tissue by allowing the muscles to relax and not do the work for them. And for our last minute here, again, try and take your attention to your spine. I know there's a lot going on in your body, all over your body. But I want you to have gratitude for that spine. Even if it's aching. Even if you've been having back problems. The first step towards healing is loving that body part, telling it how much you love it. And I know that's hard when you're in pain. And then asking, what does it need from you? And of course, it's not going to speak to you right away. Most likely, things have been going on for a long time.
So it's going to take time to figure out what it needs from you. But love is always the first step. Last couple of breaths. Let your hands go. Bring them to the mat. Slowly come off your block if you've been on the block. And you may want to grab a blanket to pad your knees again. Come to a tabletop position and then take your hips back to your heels. If this is very uncomfortable for you, you can take that blanket and place it in between your upper and lower legs. And if you have a lot of trouble with having the tops of your feet right on your mat, you can roll up a little blanket and you could put it underneath there too. And we're just going to be here for a short amount of time. I'm just letting the effort of the last pose go. Go ahead and come back into tabletop, taking your blanket aside or holding onto it. If you're having a cool fall day, as we are, you might like blankets. Take your legs out towards the side and then go ahead and stretch them out in front of you. Let the feet fall open to either side and then slowly come onto your elbows and then all the way onto your back for Shavasana. And I am going to read Donna's poem once again. I invite you to close your eyes. Loving yourself. Loving yourself is a big ask. To some, it may as well be a mountain covered in treacherous ice. A journey too far. A journey so overwhelming that finding the start point can often seem impossible. Begin by showing yourself some slack every now and again. Move into a healthy mutual respect, and then perhaps gravitate to treating yourself as you would a good friend. Laugh at your own jokes. See the life well lived in each tummy roll. And be forgiving when you've made mistakes, or behave as every human does, imperfectly. It's the least you would give to another, so it shouldn't be too far a stretch. Loving yourself is a big ask, so simply start with kindness, and the rest will come. And continue to relax in Shavasana until you hear my voice again. Begin to allow your breath to deepen, taking any small movements you need. Come back into the here and now, nodding your head up and down, side to side, wiggling your hips a little bit, moving your toes and your fingers. On your next inhale, stretch your arms up in a deep stretch. And stretch those feet away from your hands. Nice, big, full body stretch. And then slowly take your feet to your mat. Knees are bent. Very slowly, still keeping your eyes closed if they are. Allow those knees to fall over to either side, pulling them up towards your chest. Stretch your bottom arm along the mat, cradling your head on that arm. And take a few deep breaths here. Still keeping your eyes closed, begin to slowly raise your torso and come back up into an easy seated position. And of course, if you want to remain in Shavasana, please do. All the month in November 2022, we have explored gratitude, both body love and gratitude, ahimsa, loving kindness towards your body, satya, are the stories that you tell yourself about your body true, and aparigraha, which is gratitude. So we've covered 3 of the 5 yamas in the month of November. And right now, I would like you to give yourself gratitude for taking this time for you. This whole practice may have been the only time your entire day that you took for yourself. And know that I am so grateful for each and every one of you who choose to practice with me. Slightly bowing your head over your hands. And begin to blink your eyes open. Taking in your mat and the floor. And keeping the head bowed. Notice what you hear. Notice what is touching your body, the mat, your clothes, any smells that might be around, and then slowly begin to raise your head and let that go. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this practice, go ahead and click the like button. And if you'd like to practice with me again, go ahead and click the bell to subscribe.